Ahoy and g'day, mateys. I be Josh the Pirate, and I be back for more home brewing. So yes, quick warning, there may be brownouts, there may be blackouts. I've had 2 already so far in the last half hour, but seems to have settled down, so we will try again. If it doesn't, however, I probably won't be back tonight, just because I don't like just browning out on you guys. So, welcome. This be Horses Cove, and this be Tactics Tuesday. It's the thing I like to do every Tuesday, where I sit down and do a bit of home brewing, and I'm basically, what I'm trying to do is build a system for 5e in which to use mechs. I'm calling it Battletech 5e because Battletech is the system in which I want to play. It is the narrative system, the universe, the world that Mech Warrior happens in, and I want to run Mech Warrior games using 5e. Because I reckon you can do it. And, yeah, there is a degree of, like, weird things like, that won't work, that won't work, that won't work. That could work as long as you're not playing in Battletech's universe. Like, there's no reason for any of the, subclasses or classes generally to not work if you're playing 5e. In a space universe, like Spelljammer proves it. And I should probably get a look at Spelljammer for this, but there's, yeah, like, Sorcerer and Bard, for example, don't really track in Battletech itself, because the magic isn't a thing in that universe. Anywho, so yeah, that's what I'm looking to do. My name's Josh the Pirate, for those who don't know me. You can find me here on my channel, Courses Cove, where I run D&D and do D&D related things. But you know that because you've done that already. Well done. Keep doing it. I run this channel with my lovely lady wife. You can also find both of us on the podcast There Be Dragons, where we play, I play the infamous and deadly pirate Scan Felspar, and my lovely wife, Karen, plays Ryland Westfall, the fearsome dragonborn warrior. And deposed Lady of Westfall, actually. Ability. We do D&D 2 or 3 nights a week here, or D&D related activities. We will be back tomorrow evening for hanging out with our Thursday night crew, who are currently on hiatus at the moment. But we're going to have a table talks and just have a chat about season that was. We also do a few other things here. We like to shout out the Ukrainian people because they need all the love that they can get right now. They're having a bit of a rough time. I don't know if you're aware, but Russia invaded them, which is shit. And we are against this whole business. The emergency action appeal is the link I put up in chat. You can head over there if you have any spare pennies to donate towards them. Over $4.3 million has already been raised, which is great, but we could do better. So thank your faces in advance if you have done that, and if you haven't, bless your faces anyway. Beyond that, the only other thing that I really need to talk about is Wooten Forge. Wooten Forge are the creators and makers of WA's finest handcrafted wooden tabletop accessories, and if you want them anywhere in the world, because they do ship internationally, you can purchase them at the link I have put in chat, wootenforge.com/Corsairs Cove. And if you do that, we get a cheeky little discount, you cheeky little monkeys. Kickback, rather. Yes, and this is my Wooten Forge dice box. It is made of Australian Jarrah. Jarrah is a gorgeous wood. If you're not Australian, you may well never have seen any. A lot of it doesn't leave Australia, and it now is the chance because we are running out of it. Intensive logging has really fucked up the amount of Jarrah we've got left, so we're just not cutting it down anymore. So yeah, if you want some, now's the time. They also have some other incredible woods, like the Tassie Blackwood, which is my favorite. It's got the gorgeous black bits in quite a light grain. It's like the color of the grain is like a maple or even a pine, but it's got these little black bits. Anywho, and what's it, and where have you, and wherefore? I'm going to be doing some homebrewing. Now, last week I homebrewed a new monster. An ooze called an inkling. And it was rather fun. So, I thought I'd do another one because I kind of got the bug, the homebrewing bug. Very contagious. But first, I need to do a bit of Googling because, you can tell the ooze stats, HMS Dreadnought, David Franklin, 16 sodium atoms walk into a bar. How was that? Oh, yeah. That's the beginning line to a joke, and I was like, I don't get it. 16 sodium atoms walk into a bar, followed by Batman. The punchline is sodium. The symbol for sodium is Na. 16 sodium atoms. Na 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 na. Batman. I was like, had to Google it to get it. And Oceanish Saltmarsh stats. You know what I've been doing recently. So, PayPal login, Kevin Malone actor, Alex Jones court, map of Barovia, all these good things. So, what I want to do, first of all, indigenous Australian cannibal legend. Because, yes, I did mean that. Screamings, malevolent cannibal beings with sharp, pointy teeth, curved, claw-like fingernails that reside in the Salt Lake. That's the one. Lake Disappointment. The Martu people. There you go. So, I was at the WA Art Museum on the weekend with Rachel Fuka, actually, and Karen. And there was a really good exhibition of Indigenous Australian, as in artwork by Indigenous people, not necessarily Indigenous style artwork. Because, you know, there is the dot painting style Indigenous Australian finger paint thing, which actually calling a finger painting is massively inaccurate because a lot of the time it's not finger painting. Okay, hello, good to see you, nice to meet you. Okay, thank you for joining me. I am doing some homebrewing. I'm going to be homebrewing some monsters. I'm going to be homebrewing Ningalaku. I'm going to have to change it a little bit. This word, because I can't pronounce it. Dalaku. Yeah, hard. Yeah. If you don't know what it's supposed to sound like, I could probably get a pronunciation. But yes, they had this amazing exhibition on it, and some of it was audiovisual. And there was a story of these cannibal beings that hunt the Martu people, who live up, near up near Lake Disappointment, which I think is hilarious. I didn't know that was what that's what the European name is for it. But it's a salt lake, beside and beneath. And they also have the legend told of a baby, and it was a cannibal baby. And the cannibals were like, maybe we shouldn't eat the rest of these guys. And the cannibal baby was like, nah, I want to eat them. So they ate all the people. Weird story. But yeah, it really inspired me because the cannibals in the cartoon were very upsetting. And the look on Rachel's face, I was just like, oh, I've got to homebrew that stuff. And yeah, long term, I kind of want to make a Josh the Pirate's Monster Manual. Fun. Okay, who are you? What do you do? How have you found me? Why did you find me? What are you doing here? Are you a D&D enthusiast as well? We do D&D 2 or 3 times a week here on Corsairs Cove. I be Josh the Pirate, as the name beneath me indicates. And I'm normally the DM here, but occasionally I'm not. Sometimes I get to play. So yeah, I want to... First of all, I'm going to need a name for these creatures. Cannibal beings. Naga Yana Nagalaku. I'm gonna have to go with something like, I quite like the end, like Nagalaku. Nangalaku. I think we'll go with Nangalaku. Phew, pardon me. So yeah, I think we'll call them Nangalaku. So let's have up a new moment. Nangalaku. shorten it down, bastardizing it, but it's an homage to indigenous culture. And I figured that there will be the adult form, but the more vicious one is the young form of these creatures. Now, at this point in the homebrewing, I would probably normally Google something similar and then twist it. So, let's see if we can find Cannibal 5e. Human Crazed Cannibal 5 edition. Or even Ghoul, because that was more like what they were. Ghoul 5e. Yeah, try that. Ghouls. Challenge waiting 1. Medium undead, chaotic evil. Bite and claw. Yeah, that'll do for a start. So, boom. Ugh. Formatting. I think they're fast. Well. And so I suppose we should probably write down even what they are, because that would probably be an important thing to do. There's your problem. Oh, I know what. Where's the formatting? Pain in the ass. There we go. Yeah, that's all. Do right. Okay, so we have our basic template for these creatures, but first of all, I think we should establish what they are. So it'll be bigger, make it nice. Ngalaku. Probably have a pronunciation in there. Pronunciation. Angalaku. And yeah, so what are they? Because yeah, I want to base them fairly strongly on the myth. And I think, yeah, they young are even more vicious than they are. But the scary thing about them, are they humanoids or animalistic creatures? They are humanoids, because the fundamental basis is they are cannibals, so they would be people who just eat human flesh. But they are, like, let's have a read of the original. Ancient, malevolent, have sharp, pointy teeth and curved, claw-like fingernails. They reside beneath a salt lake, Campaniti. And they have been known to stalk and feast on human prey, to be precise, the Matu people. So humanoids, technically speaking, but only in appearance, they are far more animalistic, I would say. Okay. So that is probably where we begin. So, I'm not even sure I would call them undead. I don't think they are undead. I don't think that's the point of them. So let us say that they are in fact humanoids. Definitely chaotic evil. I would also give them a movement speed of 35 feet. Not super crazy fast, but faster than your average person. And I'm going to crank that armor class up to 13. They would not have very high... They don't wear anything. They were, like, in the animation, they were skin... They were bones. They were skeletal. They were basically just black skeletons. And I see them as not dissimilar to that. So let us say these gaunt skeletal inhabit I'm just getting a Monty Python thing in my head. Go arid subtropical regions and wear spectacles. Gaunt. Oh, gaunt. That's Gant. Gaunt. What? These gaunt skeletal creatures inhabit marshy caves and swamp land, particularly the salt water. Though vaguely humanoid shape, they have an head over narration consume flesh, human flesh, and now possess only the base of I don't think I would crank their intelligence very much. But I think you would have a very high constitution if you regularly ate raw human flesh, so I'm going to crank that up to 18, make it pretty monstrous, plus 4. And I'll give them a strength of 14. I hate it when they do this, plus, like it's a 13. Would you ever? Don't mind a 7, that's fine. Wisdom plus... And I reckon more so. I think they'd have pretty good situational awareness. So let's crank that to 14, plus 2, and no charisma at all. Very uncharismatic. Damage immunities, poison. They can also speak. Yeah, they can speak common. They would definitely be more like a challenge rating 2, I'd have thought. See what I'm doing a bit better. So humanoid. Can they survive outside of water? Yeah, I don't think they aren't aquatic. I wouldn't have said. Yeah, they live under the lakes, in caves near or under the water. I don't think they actually... I'd say they can swim. So let's give them a swimming speed, say. And can hold their breath for like 10 minutes. I don't think they're not, but they're not amphibious. Yeah, like amphibious, but not fully. They don't require water. They are, they are amphibious. Yes. The trick is, I wouldn't say they can breathe water. They can just hold their breath super. But that doesn't mean you can't live in water. Okay, question. Okay, question answers. Speed 35 feet. Walking 35 feet. Swimming, say 20 feet. Make them a little slower in the water. They're quite beefy boys. You would not want to wind up in a scuffle with one. I'm also going to crank the hit points up commensurate with the increase in constitution. Put them at 30. 30 hit points a pop for a challenge rating of 2. I think that's reasonable. Immune to poison. Resistant to acid. They cannot be. They're immune to disease. Definitely immune to disease. I don't know if they'd be immune to being charmed. I might give them like advantage on saves against being charmed. Acid. And necrotic. Not immune, but resistant. Suitable for hunting packs, and yes, they will get packs. I'm guessing they wouldn't be resistant to fire. No, I don't think so. No, I think like people what eat other people can burn them just perfectly. Imagine trying to charm one of these. Well, this is it. But I have so many players who are like, I cast charm person. I'm like, fuck you. And their wisdom isn't particularly high, so you know. Stop making friends with all these people. Just kill the creatures and move on with your life. So I'm going to remove Charmed as an immunity. I don't even think they should be immune to being exhausted. I'll leave it. I'll leave it. Suitable for hunting in packs. They live in groups up to 30, and the areas outside players are brightest of those. So, now let's get it. So, brutal and primitive. These creatures can... Oh, no. No of the fires of the race and don't appreciate them, and will sometimes trade. Will sometimes trade with other with adventurers or humanoid. Yeah. If you show, yeah, will sometimes agree to trade with other creatures such as lizard men if treated with enough force. Agree to trade with other creatures such as lizardmen if greeted with enough force. And ability. Friendly. Galaku. That name we made up. And Galaku are what was it? Yeah. Gust. G. Gust. All they meet. And often travel in it. Such a they being charmed. I don't think. Yeah, it's a charm, so things like sleep wouldn't put sleep either. Or at least they have advantage again on the same. Young Galaku. We're getting on to the littlies. Have born with Yesum and not burn all bolt. Often once a little I can't. Yeah, it doesn't have any idea what it is. Dissuade these Little will dissuade. Little will dissuade them from the next heal. So cool. Let us call that the Nangalaku adult. Boom. The passive perception would be now 12. Ranked the dark vision, yes, I think they definitely do. And the actions. Yeah, you've done. Problem when your internet dies halfway through you're doing something. Down that far, Joshua. So, again, we will fight. I reckon the bite is strength and the claws are dex. Much like what they've got here. So the bite becomes a plus, and I will give them a standard proficiency bonus of +2, so the bite becomes a +4. 5 foot, 1d6 +2 piercing, and 1d6 what do you reckon? That necrotic or poison damage? I think poison. Or let's have the poison come from the claws. The bite attack, I reckon these things can heal themselves by Nominonia. Let's do that. So 2d6. Let's just leave it as it was. 2d6 +2 piercing damage. Quite a bit. If the Ngalaku deals more than... Yeah. If the Nangalaku deals more than 5 damage... to a character after distance is considered... They regain, or maybe make a temporary hit point. No, I don't think they can get past their max by eating, so they regain 1d6. And then we have the claws. The claws! Give them the... melee weapon attack. This will be a +5 to hit. 2d4 +2 slashing damage. If the target is a creature other than an elf or undead, it must succeed on a DC 10 con save or be paralyzed. Target can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns remaining, ending the effect on a success. I don't mind that. I'm gonna make it 1d... 6 plus 3 slashing, and 1d6 poison. The target must succeed if hit. If hit, the target must succeed on a DC 10 con save or be poisoned. For 1 minute. Just poisoned. Target can repeat the saving at the end of each turn, ending the effect on a success. No. I think that. Or be poisoned. It's not a difficult effect to heal. Erin's here! You all was awesome last night. Thank you very much. Erin, how are you, my dear? Good to see you again. Thank you for joining me. I am doing some homebrewing. Erin, I don't know, are you an Aussie, Erin? And okay, actually, I don't know, are you an Aussie as well? We are doing some homebrewing based on, homebrew, hey, Zedran, good to see you as well, mate. Thanks for joining me. Yes, it was a bit of a late start this evening because I've been having some trouble with my internet, as in I've been having trouble with the electricity in my house. I sat down, went live, I just told Discord that we were going live, and then the internet, and then everything went black. I was like, good. I'm okay, thank you very much. I am from the UK. Ooh, okay, excellent. That is where I am from as well, originally. I am a Somerset boy, born and bred, but raised in Reading, Berkshire, for a good long while, before shifting out here when I was 15. Western Australia, although I also lived in Singapore for 3 years before, and I had a year in the Bahamas as well. I'm very well traveled. Very important. How am I tonight? I'm extremely well, thank you. We had an electrician come yesterday to fix an awful lot of the broken shit in our house, and it sort of prompted a spring cleaning, even though it's the middle of fucking winter here. So our house is extremely tidy, which I love. Karen is not a tidy person, but I am. And yeah, Karen's been tidying with me, and I've been like, so I'm just like, I love it how big my house feels. This is the trick. Tidiness makes me feel very cluttered and like I don't have a lot of room. Karen's a small person. I'm quite a big person. I require a lot of space, and which is why I couldn't hack living in England anymore, because there just isn't everything's too close together. Erin, you're from Notting Hill. Oh, lovely. I love Notting Hill. This is the thing. I love London. I lived in Croydon for 9 months in 2013, and didn't hate it. I loved London. I didn't like living there. Is the big trick. Yeah. How the bloody hell am I? How the bloody hell are you, Nelderberry? Good to see you, mate. Thanks for joining me. I'm doing some home brewing. So yeah. We're homebrewing a thing so Rach and I and Karen and a bunch of our friends were at the art gallery on the weekend. We went and we had a look and at some Indigenous art exhibition. An exhibition about Indigenous culture, often by Indigenous Australian artists, but so most of them were Indigenous Australian artists, but not all of it was Indigenous Australian art style. There is that very, like, the dot painting thing. Not all of it was that. Some of it was, and some of that leaves me cold, I'll be honest. I don't believe in the hierarchy of arts, like the Renaissance masters are the best of the best of the best squared. But, yeah, that stuff, I'm just like, it helps if I know what it is. And so, yeah, untitled ... I'm like, well, what is it? But there was some really cool audio-visual stuff, and my background is I have a master's in filmmaking, so I was very interested in that and had a look through that. And yeah, there was one that was a sort of a cartoon about the Nyanmara Naraku. That was pretty close. Probably. Maybe not. Probably not. Which are cannibal beings from up north Kimberley ways. And the people, the Matu people, they were preyed upon by these cannibal beings. And they live beneath a salt lake. Lake Disappointment, which I think is brilliant. And it really sort of resonated with me. They were like, they had sharp, pointy teeth and claw-like fingernails. And yeah, the whole idea was really cool. It sounds a little similar to a Wendigo. And yeah, Zedran, as you say, correct. And what's fun about it, and it's another one of these pan-global myths, because, I don't know if you're aware of this, but the dragon, for example, Nebulous Cass reminds me of everyone that lives in Sydney. Nebulous Cass, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Yeah. Like that. I mustn't laugh too hard. Several of my players live in. Yeah, the dragon is a really good example of a pan-global myth. So yeah, almost every culture in the world has the idea of a flying winged serpent. And cultures that had nothing to do with each other, never met. I know tons of people that are all long fingernail cannibals. But like the Vikings, the ancient, the Chinese had the same idea, despite being on. Yes, they're continentally, they could have communicated, and long-distance trade relations may have existed, very, very broadly speaking, but enough for that level of cultural exchange, I'm not really seeing it. But then you add in the fact that the Aztec also had that same concept. And then you take into account the Australian concept of the rainbow serpent, the indigenous Australian people have. It's slightly different, but similar enough. The Inca had, I think it was the Inca had the Quetzalcoatl, which was again very much a snake, no legs at all, with feathered wings. But all of these aliens, in ancient aliens, I'm like, I've always struggled with that idea, Nebulous Cass, the ancient alien concept. It's a fascinating idea. I just like the idea that we are responsible for the cool shit we did ourselves. Like, it has been demonstrated that the pyramids could have been built by the technology that they had at the time. The Rainbow Serpent and the Jormungandr are so similar. Yeah, exactly. But they're from, like, the complete opposite sides of the world. Like, Antipodean versions, but they're the same thing. Fun story again. The unicorn, the national animal of Scotland. And point for point, idea for idea, the Chinese had the same animal. The only major difference is that the Kailin, which is the Chinese version, has scales. It's still horse-shaped, but it has dragon claws instead of hooves. But its abilities, it grants wishes, it's considered to be a extremely pure spirit. Its ears can heal. In both cases, this is traditionally that is what unicorns can do. So it's just a neat idea that there are so many of these things that are pretty much just everyone's had these ideas, and you gotta wonder, why did everybody have these oddly similar ideas? Zombies are another. Just further proof that there is no such thing as an original thought. Humans are to blame. It's kind of like my book I'm thinking of writing, Collective Consciousness Theory. Yeah, that one I'm with you on, Nebulous Cass. I was, when I finished my undergraduate, I was strongly considering writing my honors on collective energy and sort of instinctive communication between small groups of people, particularly for theater and stage. When you just find a group that you gel with, that you work really well with, you can read each other really well. Not like psychic connection or anything like that, just sort of you can feel the group energy, the energy of a group. You're like, yeah, no, I'm vibing with this. And it's very much basically modern vernacular, it would be a vibe. Anyway. Fun, fascinating to me side note on that. So yeah, Wendigo, another idea. I'm just like, that's so cool. And yeah, the look on Rachel's face when we were watching this video, she was like, "I don't like this at all." I'm like, definitely gonna have to homebrew that shit now. Particularly as they're in Barovia. They may well meet these things. Zedran, you're welcome to lurk. Thank you very much for joining us. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing. So far, nothing crazy special. I'm calling them Nangaraku. These gaunt, skeletal creatures inhabit marshy caves and swampland, particularly near salt water. Though vaguely humanoid in shape, they have degenerated over generations of consuming humanoid flesh and now possess only the basest of intellects, suitable for hunting in packs. They live in groups of up to 30 and the areas outside their lairs are strewn with the detritus of those they have consumed. Though brutal and primitive, these creatures know of the desires of other races even if they don't appreciate them, and will sometimes agree to trade with other creatures, such as lizardmen, if greeted with enough force. Using the stolen possessions of those they have eaten as currency. Young Nangaraku are born with fearsome appetites and do not learn to control them until adulthood. These small creatures often accompany the adults on the hunt, and once the scent of prey is in the air, little will dissuade them from their next meal. Yeah. Might have a paragraph, because I want to, like, describe them physically a little bit more. Most galactic. Have been pale eyes. Huge, let's say huge eyes with tiny long pointed teeth and bony fingernail, crusted with grime. Say sharp pointed teeth, razor sharp teeth. No, I still want pointed. It does evoke a slightly different image. And long, bony fingernails encrusted with grime and a victim. There we go. A little bit more evocative. Do they file their teeth sharp or do they grow that way? They grow that way. Definitely, I would say. Because it's all they eat. All the better to nom you with. Then, yes, we have decided they have... we took a standard ghoul and cranked them up a bit, but they are humanoid. Technically. Not undead. They are not undead. But we've pumped them up a little bit. We buffed their strength, dex, con, and wisdom. Do they cook the food? No. Eat only raw. Thought I'd spell that. Okay. Raw food. I mean, DM's discretion. This is all homebrew. But in my head, no. Definitely not. I don't imagine cannibals do. Oh, raw human flesh? That's just gross. fix the formatting. Cool. That doesn't fit on one page. Ugh. Aggravating. Let's. Yeah, they speak common badly. Now, the second thing I want to do, however, this is so inspirational for me learning to write like this. Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad to hear it, Aaron. I've homebrewed monsters lots, but I've only started doing it on stream relatively recently. And yeah, this is sort of the modus operandi of us. I believe most DMs when they start homebrewing. Probably have to be about 78s. Yeah, they are. Oh yeah, that's the other thing we need to say. They can hold their breath really well. They have a swimming speed. What do we say? Well, mechanically, if you have a con of +4, you can hold your breath for 5 minutes, which makes about right. So the next thing is a Nangalaku infant, because this was the most upsetting thing in the entire thing. The Nangalaku, or the original version, they had a baby with them, a cannibal baby, who decided, and the rest of the Nangalaku were like, nah, like, we've eaten enough people. We should probably stop eating people. And the baby was like, nah, I want to eat more people. And they were like, okay, so they just murdered all the people and ate them. And we were like, okay, so the baby called the shots. So I think the babies are actually the most nasty. If they're adapted to the swamps, would they have a protective membrane for their eyes, or perhaps webbed hands and feet? I don't think so. Maybe a little bit. Maybe like a slight webbing in their underarms or whatever. But I don't think they are particularly adapted for it. I reckon they just are really strong and aggressive and just power through rather than being better made for it. They're just nasty, you know? I like the idea, but I have... It's without the image to hand. It was basically a black skeleton with sharp teeth. And that's sort of what I'm trying to evoke. It's just a human skeleton that wanders around, but it's not undead. It is clothed in flesh, just not a lot of it. So we say we use the adult as a basis, and we say infant. Now, they're not as strong. Probably only a strength of 10, so a +0. I still think that they are pretty strong. They also have fewer hit, let us say 20. But I'm not going to change their speed at all, and I'm going to crank up their dexterity. 18. +4. And I might crank their charisma to an 8, which is only a -1. They're adapted to the swamps, so they have protected. Yeah. I think they're more adapted to caves than swamps. And yeah, just strong. And with the baby, we say beguiling appearance. Dalaku infants. They're babies, so they're just adorable. Yeah, I mean, not adorable, but misleading, I suppose. Do they all look the same, or will the younglings have different features towards their adult counterparts? I think, yeah, as they age, they get more skeletal. So an infant looks like just a filthy baby. Yeah, they would look more healthy. Yeah, exactly. Hello, my lovely. How are you? You are a little monster. Come here, little monster. Siri. Yeah. Up. Oh. Oh noes! Oh noes! A monster! I did face him raw. Hello. She's wearing her jumper which says little monster on the back. That's why. Wait, you're tangled in cable. There you go. Watch out, Josh is being attacked. Nebulous Cast, thank you for the follow. Good on you, bloody champion. Yes. Really interesting. Yeah. Nangalaku infants have yet to degenerate as badly as their parents and look not dissimilar from a normal humanoid infant on at first sight. Closer inspection. Oh, they would be proficient with deception as well. Closer inspection. DC 14. Investigation will reveal their true nature if they don't first. None shall infants have advantage on deception checks to deceive. Nice. Dyslexia, guys. I apologize. Deceive people regarding their true nature. Oh, we also need to give all of them pack tactics. Pack. How was Jess? Does. Have add attacks against if 5 feet of the were these just like people that started to eat humanoid flesh, or are they some kind of creature altogether different? The legend I heard was not specific on the matter. I kind of want to assume that they are different. That they always were. That these are... It's not a degeneration. Although the way I've written it, it is a degeneration. Let's say yes. Yes, say they are. They used to be. And we're talking generations ago, sort of several generations ago. These had changed. They started out as just debased humanoids, similar to the lore of ghouls in Warhammer Fantasy. They just sort of started eating human flesh, and they're not technically undead. They're just debased cannibals who are, and actually the Ghoul Kings are batshit mad. Like, they believe themselves to be noble knights and courtiers in a court, and the way they see the world is this kingdom that they rule, and instead it's just covered in blood, guts and bones. They don't see themselves the way they are, which is quite interesting and really quite sad, actually. That's why I asked. I was like, what would happen to a survivor of an encounter with these creatures? Well, this is the thing. Actually, I think, I reckon you could be driven. I reckon, like, you could make it a thing that if you are captured young, say, a child is taken by these creatures and raised by them, they grow into them. Horrible. In 5 feet. Cool. Ngalaku Infant. We'll also give them pack tactics. Well, I think that's reasonable. But I reckon the bite is even nastier from the infant. Probably come as a big surprise. So let's say a D8, 2D8s plus their strength goes down to plus 0, unfortunately, because their strength is 10. 2d8 piercing. If the Ngalaku infant deals more than, never actually specified, 5 points of damage to a character after resistance is considered, they regain 1d6 hit points. We need to say that of the other as well. Well then, 5 points of damage. Yes. I would think it would be impossible to escape their grasp. It'd be horrible. Yeah, and not being eaten by them would almost be worse. Yeah. So, Karen, do you remember at the art gallery there was the video of the
Cannibal.
Yeah.
The cannibal.
Yeah.
That's what.
That's what I'm making. Would you mind coming and have a quick look over it and sitting with chat while I do quick? Got some new friends.
Nah. Oh, hi everybody. Angaluku in. I probably pronounced that. Let's have a look. Medium humanoid, chaotic evil. That tracks. I feel like they should have a slightly higher strength. Like, zombies traditionally are like quite strong, right? I assume we're going with a dex heavy ability. Normal human info, closer inspection reveal their true nature of their birth. Advantage on deception checks to deceive people. Oh yes. So you're not sure if it's gonna eat you straight away. Values in 5 feet. Bite. Oh wow. If they deal more than 5 points of damage to a character after resistances are considered, they regain 1d6. They drain your vitality from you. Pause. Oh. I assume, oh, is this the adult? There we go. Rolling up now. Ooh. Areas outside their lair are strewn with the detritus of those they have consumed. Wow, they sound terrifying. Oh, okay, so the adult is stronger, and then the kid is more dexterous. Okay, that makes sense now. Okay, these sound absolutely horrifying.
Yeah.
Like, you're traveling with a merchant caravan when your group is set upon by these creatures. You're tied up and forced to watch as your various companions are torn apart, eaten alive. The creatures are falling asleep while your sanity breaks overnight, and you begin to eat your companions with your own cage. When the creatures awaken, they find you filing your teeth against the iron bars of the cage. Nebulous cast, that is horrifying. But I feel appropriate for the creatures we're dealing with.
Yeah.
Are you keeping the turn into a tree thing, or are you kind of...
Did they do that? I don't remember that.
I don't remember how that was, but there was an image of them crawling along and then turning into trees.
Oh, yeah.
So,
No.
Okay. They're merely cannibalistic humans.
I think I want to have something like what Nebula... So, like a group. Like an insanity thing. Like, if you buy them, they're...
Yeah. Excessive exposure to their depravity draws you into their mindset, and you too may begin to...
Yeah, so, like, if you are poisoned...
Yeah.
And... Be charisma, because... Fail the charisma.
Almost like they're doing psychotic damage. Sorry, psychic damage, not psychotic damage.
Yeah, but making you psychotic.
They're making you psychotic. Alrighty, I'm passing back over. Bye, guys.
This was the mother of bunnies, everybody.
Makeup free. We're talking about creatures and stuff. Hey, username you. Good to see you. They all say bye. Yeah, hey, buddy. Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Yes, we are homebrewing monsters. Some really scary and upsetting stuff as well. Nebulous Cass is bringing their A game. So yeah, I think we need to have that. Welcome back, me. Hi. Yeah. The thing is, I've had an awful lot of tea today. And it just shoots right through me. So, let's finish figuring out the Nangalaku infant. And then we will make a group, sort of a thing about them all. I don't think the infant does the con damage. It does the poison, though. Because I don't think the infants have the claws yet. Or they do, but they're not encrusted with as much grime. The only acceptable tea is Yorkshire Gold. Wow. What about a banana-looking snake that makes you fear bananas? Username you, why? What is it about bananas? Because I remember this from before. It's like the Australian boom snake. It looks exactly like a stick. They'd be tasting good, buff. Look, I'm not saying they're not. I don't like. Well, actually, I am saying that because I'm allergic. But most people, fine. Go for your lives. So 105. Actually, there would be a +6 to hit. Dex. And 1d. But they're not as strong, so 1d4 +4 slashing damage. And 1d4 poison. Because they're not as big, they haven't got as much filth on their claws, and their claws aren't as big yet. Josh is allergic to healthy, only eats human flesh. Yep, canon. Can confirm. No, just that specifically. I have 2 allergies, cats and bananas. I love the taste of banana. It's a physical thing. If banana touches my tongue, immediately vomit. Projectile vomit. Very nasty. I almost want to say that the Nangalaku infant can't speak common. Also, how about a creature that looks like a mushroom and when you touch it, your skin gets stuck to the mushroom? Ugh. Skin gets stuck on the mushroom. Oh. I don't actually mind that. I kind of like that one.
Bad thought. So clause infant deals more than 5 points of damage to a character after resistance. Did they regain 1d6 HP? I almost want to make that 1d6 plus 2. Just make it like that's actually quite a bit. Could be 8, at least 3. Like it's a meaningful amount. And I'm going to say that for the other one as well. And technically speaking, I would say these are, because a challenge rate, yeah, the ghouls are 2, so these guys would be 400 XP each. Quite a bit. What else would happen with the mushroom? I kind of want to explore this now. Let's talk about magic mushrooms. How about a creature that could mimic whatever it sees? Like, for example, you see a cup, look away, and then there's another cup next to it. Say, mimic. What you got there is a mimic. Crystalline mimic. Looks like a normal crystal. After you come into contact with it, the creature can take on your form. It holds all of your memories, but not your personality. It must return to its natural state every 24 hours, or it shatters and explodes. Ooh. Ooh. Kind of like that, too. Copy that. I'm gonna actually, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna, boom, crystalline mimic. I'm gonna copy these and save them, and we'll investigate them at a future time. Because I like the mushroom idea as well. I'm gonna finish my Nangalaku, and I also want to make a rainbow serpent. I want to make a not as horrible monster next. But these are good thoughts. How about, also about the mushroom, I've named the mushroom Mushroomasticus, or the sticky mushroom. Can we do better? Username you, because I like the idea. But Mushroomasticus is, how about a Latin version? Let's find Latin for sticky. Sticky, stucky. That's no good. Lentum. Now we say Latin for mushroom. Fungus. Oh, I'm an idiot. Because it's a monster, not just a thing. Lentum fungus. Yeah. Yeah, it's not really a monster. It would be like a trap. Yeah, okay, let's say Lentum fungus. And it's a thing. Stop highlighting. Do this. Study the no color. Ugh, gross. Spit. Okay. Yeah. Lentum fungus. So Lentum fungus. These. What shape are they? Mushroomasticus. Is it a real thing? Because I know of Driz Do'Urden, Ranger of the North. It better not be. I feel like R.A. Salvatore could come up with something better than Mushroomasticus. Thickasthis. Kind of like a hive mind. When you touch it, as you get stuck on it, microscopic spores start going into your bloodstream and eventually start appearing in your organs and skin. Ugh. Okay. I'm just poking the guy. Alright. Lentum fungus. Yeah. I kind of like that. So it's maybe into your lungs. it would be interesting to touch the mushroom and it causes you to see these. I reckon we're gonna have to do a whole different series of fungus at this point, because I want a fungus that just sticks you in place, just incredibly sticky, and your hand gets stuck to it. You're like, okay, you're gonna have to. It could be a really neat trap. Then I want a different fungus that is sort of very parasitic and like gets into you, and initially you don't even realize what it is or what's wrong with you, and 2-3 days later you start coughing up spores, and a couple of days later you'll be dead if you don't realize what's wrong. But the DM isn't obliged to tell you. Just sort of tracks it, and 5 days later you fucking drop dead unless you start demonstrating symptoms like 2-3 days in. Paralysis, some kind of neurotoxin. Yeah, because and then there's the hallucination mushrooms that you get from touching. And it'd be like I like these thoughts, these ideas. Okay. That's what I mean. If it sticks to you and then causes these hallucinations. Oh, it does both. I want loads of different. I like the variety, and yeah, you can combine them. Maybe there may be 2 different kinds of mushroom grow in the same place, so that these things, so like some of them stick you down while others infect you. Fungus that starts appearing on your organs, writhing, settling into your insides. Subspecies? I'm thinking different kinds. They would all be subspecies of fungus. But all different kinds of mushrooms. Gotten thoroughly distracted from my cannibals. So, it's time for Mushroom Monday. It's Tuesday, but yes, might be Monday where you are, but it's Tuesday here. Lenten fungus. So these, let's say, broad tops, very broad, like a dinner plate. These broad topped toadstools. Glisten wetly. And grow in large patches in dark, wet, dark and warm. Byron. Often up walls and covering patches of floor. When a creature touches the surface, perhaps exudes some kind of umami smell. Tuesday here. Anyways, this mushroom thing is real interesting. Hey, Castellan! Is it Tuesday already? It is! Castellan, are you back in Perth, mate? How did it all go? Or are you still over in Melbourne ways? Love the fungal spores idea, though. It reminds me of a new species of snake I have in my story. Ooh, blood. Fungus snake? Terrifying. I am back, and it went very well. Excellent. Wow, man, that's incredible. Okay, yeah. Karen is extremely stressed. That's really good. I'm extremely happy for you, dude. That's very, very cool. All barring 2 want to read the script and see the deck. Oh, oh, woo, woo. Yeah, Karen said you saw Studio Canal. That's dope. Very cool. We're creating fungus. I'm very professional. Much wow. Yeah, very cool. Alrighty. How about a subspecies of lenten fungus that would actually be eaten when cooked properly? And if you don't cook it, you'll become part of the mushroom hive mind and become a dead husk for the mushroom to lead. Oh. Oh. I think that's true of all of them. if eaten properly and harvested well, all of these are edible. So the spores coming from the snakes cause... Ooh, ugh, terrifying. Yeah. Yes, they are. The fungus embeds spores in your bloodstream, and when you sleep, you have hallucinogenic dreams. I think it's almost instantaneously. The world slowly starts to shift on you. And yeah, they can make you do some weird shit because the world changes around you. Your allies become monstrous, and yeah. Let's see how this mushroom family tree grows. Yeah, I know, it's going to be lentum fungus. Yeah, what's happening? Well, yeah, so, Castellan, we were making a cannibal species called Ngalaku, based on an indigenous legend I learned about on the weekend of the Matu people of the Kimberley. But I kind of got sidetracked with this discussion about crazy mushrooms, which isn't really like a monster, it's more of a trap. When a creature touches the fungus, they become basically stuck to it. This is the base level lentum fungus. Then there are variations upon it. DM's discretion. All our fungal stuff is not to be messed with. Touch the fungus. That Josh the Pirate, he's a fun guy. When a creature touches the fungus, create a whole region of the world where it's just a forest to the naked eye, but as you look deeper, it's just one huge colony. Are you getting up to the point where you have to have, like, a subspecies of myconid that are these things? I've never played with myconids, never really done anything with them. That's neat. Well, this is the thing. The fungus or the cannibals. The cannibals are chaotic, evil. The fungus, I don't know. I almost feel like neutral. They're really friendly, good peeps. Yeah, myconids, I would say neutral. These ones, the lentum fungus. When a creature touches the fungus, they must make a DC, I want to say quite high. Oh, these boys, the fun guys. Yeah, I don't think they're... Yeah, but humans are curious and sometimes can be dangerous being curious. I like it. Yeah. Anyways, you're a deer, you eat a brown mushroom on the ground, you decide to kill it and cook it, but when you eat it, you lose control of your body and begin to walk into a swamp. Then you're eaten by an alligator and die. The alligator then loses control of the body, and then so on and so forth. Maybe they're just keen on being able to communicate, and the way they do this is by installing your brain with a spore update. I really like this, it's gonna have to be a creature, isn't it? I just don't know how to express it. Because it wouldn't have a standard stat block, it doesn't move. Maybe there's, yeah. Oh! This is getting very deep. Lentum hive mind is what we are going to have to call this. Fungus and spore are just the reproductive bits. Yeah. Might be fun to make them come across as evil, but they're just keen on being able to speak. And so there's a lot of fun making them appear as the bad guys, but they're really just keen on saying, hey, with 6 Ys. Yeah. Are we talking about people or some stuff? Well, this is it, username you. I think the fungus has gotten to the point where, in our collective discussion of the lore around them, where we actually have to make him a creature. So we will say the Lentum hive mind as a creature for Josh the Pirate's bestiary. Lentum hive mind. Touching them is an effect, but if you try and pick them, it drags your arm into the earth. Wait! What if the Lentum fungus is an invasive species? I'm pretty sure that is what we're going with, yeah. In a lot of ways. Or do you mean like rabbits in Australia? A Lentum hive mind. Neutral. Or neutral... I think true neutral. Invasive in more ways than one. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Say neutral. Oh. Various size. Small to huge. Plant. True neutral. And then just for this. Handy to everything. So the armor class would be basically very, very low because I have no dex. So this thing can't move on its own. So its dexterity would be essentially nothing. But you can't have a 0 for dex. So let's say like a 3. So minus 4. 3? 4. Minus 4. Minus 3. Yeah. Strength is... I would say the strength is quite high, like 16. Because it's the way it's rooted into the ground. I'm even going to say 20. I'm going to say it's got a strength of 20, but it can't move. Con, similarly. 20 con. Intelligence is, I think, quite high, and we make them psychic. I am Sporticus. How about an indigenous peoples that have formed a symbiotic relationship with the Lentum hive mind? Yeah. Maybe. Maybe it's how the Nangalaku became cannibals. Maybe even your flesh-eating creatures. Yes, 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 yes! Ah, Aaron, you and me. Maybe the shamans? Yeah. Yeah. Voice of the spore. Oh. How did something about a mushroom I said become this? This is what happens, because, username you, there's like 6 of us in chat who are throwing ideas. That's how. You get 6 creative people who are like D&D, and this shit just happens, man. That's why I love doing Tactics Tuesday. Because, you know, last week we came up with, there was 3 or 4 of us working on it. We came up with the Inkling, which is a little ooze that when it slaps your face, it leaves a swear word on you in ink that can't come off without like a lesser restoration or something like that. All hail the mushroom god. There are like 6 DMs. Yeah. This is what happens when you get creative people in a room together and just throw ideas around. Exactly, Nebulous Cass. Yeah, okay, cool. So, in intelligence, I think quite high. Let's say 16. I think it's a pretty smart boy. Depends on its size. The bigger it is, the smarter it is. I think that. The ink of inconvenience. More so. Because it's animate. It's an ooze. More age, the more knowledge and size. Yeah. Wisdom similarly. How to express that? And heck, I don't think it's not a charismatic creature. I think it could be The Lentum Conscious. Yes. Beyond a certain point, I think a small patch of it that has yet to develop a hive mind. So now I'm going more almost leaning into Halo lore about the Flood. Because small hive minds, small groups of Flood don't have the biomass necessary for a hive mind. It only develops into a proto-grave mind later when they've assimilated a fair amount. Yep, the bigger the more potent it will be. Yep. I would say sentience comes with size. Exactly. Yep. All on this. So, surely it wouldn't have any dex. Yeah, but a creature with 0 dex is dead. Like, if your stat drops to 0 in anything, you die. So it would have to be like a 1. And it's very rare to have a player with the ability to cast a spell that drops your, dex 1, alright. Dex 1. So negative 5? It's neg 4, technically. Exactly, Zedron, yeah. Leveling the pork in the oven. Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense, 1 dex. Yeah, absolutely. So the AC would technically be 6. Hit points. I think the way to express this is almost like a 10, 12, 14, 16. There are levels of Lentum hives. Single shroom, single small patch, large patch. Yeah. I think there are 4. I don't want to make it too complicated. So a patch would be a small. Medium. Would be, what would a medium be? Because they're really hard to uproot. Pack tactics. Well, this is the thing. I don't think it can attack. Not physically. It's a plant. It can't move of its own. Single Lentum Shroom. I don't think that would be it wouldn't have any mental stats. It's a single mushroom. It's only in groups does it become in any way interesting or useful. Spore attack. They would have tremor sense, I suppose. Big old area effect. Yeah. Poison cloud. Yeah, alright. Right. Yeah. Okay. What do we call a medium-sized one? A mini mine? Something like obviously not that silly, but poison cloud, psychic attack, yeah. I think they're spellcasters. No action or bonus action, but reaction. Cluster. Ooh, cluster. Good call. There we go. Cluster. Patch, cluster. The large would be a mind? Yeah, 4 stages of potency. Exactly, Aaron's here. Stool. Gang. What is the collective noun for mushrooms? Only in D&D can you ask these questions. For mushrooms, a cluster, technically, is the collective noun. Said to be a troop. Well, then we call it, the 3rd level is a troop. And small hive mind. Or just hive. Hive. plant. Yeah. Troop of lentum. A gregarious cluster. Yeah, just a large cluster. Wouldn't it be more interesting if the lentum spore reaches a larva? Would be larva become a conscious insect or a part of a hive mind? Vulnerability fire, lentum soldier. Yeah, I kind of like the idea that they are just mushrooms. If you want to have animate mushrooms, then you've got myconids. And yeah, you can flavor them differently so they're not evil, they're not nice guys. But are lentum different? So, say 10, 12, 14, 16, wisdom would be the same. 10, 12, 14, 16. What motivates a lentum? The desire to breed. Just plants, yeah. So we have to say is a plus 0 plus. And copy that with them type. I don't think the charisma needs to change necessarily. They attract prey with spore pheromones. Yes. Yeah, probably. I think the charisma, I don't think these are very charismatic creatures. They don't really understand people. I don't think they're anything worse than a 6, but that's a -2, right? Hit points wise, let us say 10, 20, 40, and 80. They don't have a speed. Speed is 0. Come, lie down in the shade of our boughs. Lie, sleep, perchance to dream, so we may eat you. Things that touch it, if they don't escape the dream grasp or whatever, they just hallucinate until they die and rot, feeding the lentum till its next meal. Yeah, fly 60 feet. I think perhaps as they grow, they start to get more and more intelligent to the point where the visions they can inflict can become times take the form of prophetic visions. Jump as a bonus action. Airborne spores would be awesome, makes super dangerous, even makes people unconscious easier for you flesh-eating friends to find new people. Yeah, and that's, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, alright. Yeah. Love it. I'm really enjoying it. Alright. Symbiosis of the swarm and the field. Well, that right there is the name of the ability. Of swarm, field, and troop, actually. None. Galaku. And lentum have levels of its own. Spore mushroom, spore spreader, lentum mushroom. Lentum mushroom being the point where they could be used their full abilities. Let's not again with the I think we I think we want to keep it simple. Or at least as simple as we can, because we're expressing something quite complicated already. But I always try and keep in mind keep it simple, stupid. Because, yeah, let any DM implementing this apply their own stuff to it if they want. Give a broad idea and then let someone else take it and run. You know, that's my feeling on it. The Nangalaku immune, maybe they can weaponize them. I think they use them to hunt. Have a symbiotic relationship. I'm kind of regretting. I'm actually gonna I'm just gonna copy paste Nangalaku every time I have to write it. Herd prey into fields of momentum and feast on those they reach. Duck. Not really an ability, it's more of a just a sort of flavor text. Alrighty, Pork Judy, have a great stream. No worries, Castellan, have a lovely evening. Hopefully a new ep soon. Woo! So, for those of you who do not know, Castellan is the DM of the podcast that I am in. There Be Dragons, where we play 5e D&D in a fantasy gunpowder setting, where I play the infamous and deadly pirate Scan Felspar, and his little dragon, Rosh. And yeah, Castellan was my first DM. It's his fault I'm doing this. Everything can be blamed on Castellan. Do that. No, he's a legend and a really cool guy. And he joined me on stream relatively recently, and we talked about Monster of the Week, and I need to have him come over and DM a game of it, because it was really cool. Croissant. No, don't do it again. No username you. I'm going to say a word and see what happens. Bagel. No. Not having great race. What it is I saw a lovely meme on Instagram. It was like first time players. I'm going to play a druid who can turn into who turns into a tiger for their combat form as an elf, and she's very pretty, and her name is Arwen Evenstar. And then a more experienced player. I'm going to play a loaf of bread, which is a wizard that can cast Mage Hand and carries itself around using Mage Hand. Here, there were dragons. Yeah, exactly. This is it's hard to think of a new thing. But that yeah, here it's ours is and I imagine yours was too, Nebulous Cass, a reference to old maps which have a Here Be Dragons. But there was already a podcast called Here Be Dragons, so we have There Be Dragons. What if a sorcerer could use Lentum for spells? Yeah, exactly. And they become stuck. Some Nangalaku have learned to throw Lentum in order to trap their prey. Sticky. Ardana is raiding. Hey Ardana, good to see you, my dear. Circle of Spore Druid option. Guten Morgen. I love fantasy stuff. Yeah. Big Gates. Yeah, that's right. Username you speaks like 3 languages. Probably more. Sticks tongue on Josh. Hey Terrace, good to see you, mate. I'm looking forward to Friday. Terrace and Ardana are the other 2 members of the game I play on Friday over on Ardana's channel. If you enjoy, and favorite raid emotes up in chat, everybody, by the way. Throw those raid emotes up there. That's our terrifying goose raid. Yes, Ardana is a very cool person and runs a really good game. Ardana? No, that's Ardrana. There we go. Yeah, you can check them out. There. Very cool person. Much like. Very well. Mushroom Sorcerer, Master of Fungus. Ooh, yes. So, hi, Terrace, Idana. We are homebrewing stuff, and we have come up with some truly batshit shit. So, we have, first of all, we came up with the Ngalaku, which was something that I encountered on the weekend at the Art Gallery of Western Australia. It's a bastardization of an indigenous Australian myth. The Martu people have this, and it's only a bastardization because I can't pronounce the actual name. Nagayuningalaku. Although I got most of it in there. And the way they speak is quite difficult to pronounce if you're not used to it. Mushroom Sorcerer, Master of Gravies. Oh God! Always at this time of the evening, I'm hungry. Stop it. But yeah, they're cannibals, and they're sort of ghoul-like cannibals that live beneath a salt lake, the Lake Disappointment, which I adore. Camperinilti. And yeah, they stalk and feast on human flesh, and I saw a cartoon of them, and they were really quite upsetting. So I wanted to make a monster of them. That's where we started. And then this happened. And then we made the baby ones, which are really nasty. And then we got to... so Username U basically said, hey, what about a mushroom? And we just did. Bread Warrior, fighter of sandwiches. So, next thing that they are sticky. When a creature touches the fungus, they must make a DC. Let's make a DC. They must make a DC, let's say 15 strength save, or become grappled by it. Even a single one. Oh, no, I think the save must increase as the depending on the size. How about a carnival party? So let's start it at 12, 13, 14, 15. No, I want higher. Let's start it at 13 and make it go to 6. Dealing with a hive mind. The more they stick on, the higher the DC. Yeah. Ooh. Grappled by it. The escape DC increases every time they... Oh, okay. Yeah. The creature may repeat this DC as an action on their turn. However, the escape DC increases every time they do. Increases by 1 or by 2? I think 2. Every time they do. But after the third or fourth attempt, it's getting really hard because you're just flopping around. It's like, oh no, I've got more. Yeah, 2. I reckon 2, Cass. Yeah. Every time they do. That's fucked up. Just to kill the wizards. Yeah, squishy wizards like, oh no, I'll cast Fireball. Can you move your hands? Damn it! I like that idea a lot. That's very cool. What would the symbiosis of swarm and troop? What would that have? What practical effect would that be? That they have a symbiotic relationship. The Ngalaku herd prey into fields of lentum and feast on those they can reach when they become stuck. Some Ngalaku have learned to throw lentum in order to trap their prey. So Ngalaku can move through fields of lentum without getting stuck? A brew. Stuck. May move through fields of Lenton without becoming stuck, and immune to the worst effects of the Lenton spores. How do the Lenton benefit from it? Do not suffer movement penalties and get advantage on shove actions while the target is in the fields? Yeah, alright. Yeah. The Nangalaku. The Nangalaku are a cannibalistic humanoid. Sort of a debased humanoid, but several generations debased. Sort of ghoulish, but not undead. They are alive. Yeah, just they really like eating people, and that's basically it. And they, yeah, just really quite strong, quite fast, not stupid, not insane, not undead. They are insane. I tried, but gave up on trying to type it all out. Yeah, no, that's fair. So did I. I copy pasted it. I know what you mean. May move through fields of Lentum. Have advantage on shove X in or near, well, when within 5 foot of an patch or larger. The Lentums benefit through the spread of their spores and get fed by the refuse left behind by the Nangalaku. So yeah, I suppose the trick is, this is an ability, but it's not an ability for the Lentum. I'll leave it there, but it's really a Nangalaku ability. Like pack tactics. So it goes there. And I don't think Nangalaku infants have it. Or they do, but they've only got the passive stuff, not the active stuff. So they don't get the advantage on the shove. Because they aren't mature and they don't understand how to utilize these things to hunt. They definitely haven't that either. Yeah. I'll leave it in the Lentum as well, but I don't think it's really a positive thing for them in terms of an in-game ability. It is, however, just they feed that way. Yeah. Lentum bombs. Lentum mushroom filled with dry grass, and when it lit and burned, the mushroom starts spreading spores everywhere, creating more lentum while it in turn killing everything that breathes the spores in. Kind of a gas bomb. I mean, terrifying. Yeah. Awful. Horrifying. Sticky. So there's that. Let's have actions. Or do you think reactions only? Senses. It doesn't have dark vision. It would have blind sight. To 10 foot. Or tremor sense. No, it'd be tremor sense, wouldn't it? to... I want 20 feet. And a passive perception utilizing that tremor sense of... It varies. It would be 10, 11, 12, and 13. Does it speak? Can it understand? I don't think so. How do they react to getting burnt? They try to spread as the mushroom dies. Yeah, that's a reaction. If the lentum... spore. If the lentum takes significant damage, significant being what? 2/3 of its HP? If the lentum is reduced to 25% HP, it uses its reaction to spread a particularly deadly cloud of spores? Like, I think its action is spread spores of various type, and it's got several different kinds, of which we have already described, like the hypnospore, or the all glory to the hypnoshroom, large AoE. Yeah, exactly, Zedran. Yeah, it would be a bigger AoE. Spread all of its remain. Or every creature within a 20-foot radius. 25 foot? 20-foot radius is 40-foot circle, so Lentum Bomb even more deadly. Yeah, absolutely. Gotta pick it without it exploding, though. 20 of it's massive. Maybe 15-foot radius? That's the 30-foot circle. I just think 40 feet will get most of the party. Which you want. What? Every creature within a 20-foot radius must make a con. Yeah, because this would be the one to infect, wouldn't it? This would be the, wanting to spread itself. So infect them, overtake their immune systems. Yeah. Must make a con save of DC. And again, this would scale on the size of the... Oh, no, you know what it is. It depends on the size of the thing. So, it would start at 10 foot. 15, 20, and 25-foot radius. If they're fighting a hive, may or must? It may use its reaction. Valid point, Nebulous Cast. Thank you. May use its reaction to spread all of its remaining spores. Every creature within 10, 15, 20, or 25 feet radius, depending on the size of the colony, and must make a con save of DC. This one I'm going to say 12, 14, 16, 18. I'm going to make even more weapons out of Lentum bombs. Lentum shrooms, yeah. Taking... Let us say 1, 2, 3, and 4. The 8. Boy. On a. Is that enough? Potentially 4d8 poison damage. This is only the really big ones. 1d8 poison damage for killing it. Everything within 10 feet gets 1d8 poison damage for really badly hurting the small ones. I think it's about right. Scales for party size, basically, and party level. They fail. Save. Lentum Death Pits. As the victim falls into the shrooms start releasing spores and try to kill the victim. Yeah. Oh my god, like a hole in the ground, and you just fill it and they grow. Yeah. A whole town that makes their entire economy, limited as it may be, based around lentum spores making medicine weapons. Dude, there's so much that could be done with this idea. I fucking love it. Yeah. Portions of lentum are traded in the underworld as hallucinogens. Yeah, absolutely. Poison damage on a failed save. And half as much on a success. That as well. I'm getting a little tired of it. Let us have kill the epic chord and hello and pirate music. Yes. This evening's music is brought to us by Sirenscape. If you enjoy them, check them out at sirenscape.com. They do really cool work. This one actually makes me happy. I like this one. I'm already starting to build a whole world in my head where all life sprang from the world, the fungus, the world mind fungus. Oh yeah, oh yeah, very cool. Like it. Would a type of myconid form be a lentum infected Nangalaku at some point? Ooh. We were talking earlier about basically, yeah, you could have lentum myconids, but that's more sort of your, homebrew it your own self, or just basically take these ideas and then implant some of the cooler stuff onto myconids. But yeah, I think that would be. Oh damn it, Ardani, you've just made something else we're gonna have to build. A true symbiote. A Nangalaku lentum symbiote. And now I have a very vivid mental image of the Davy Jones's crew in Pirates. We are a shrew, Eddie. Oh, guys, this is so cool. Very upsetting stuff. So, Sticky. We are lentum. Yeah. So that's 3 actions. Let's say actions. Because I reckon it can do a few. I think it has. They're all spore-based. Can't move. So it's all area effect. Venom is envious. Nagang Lentum Grenadiers. These are elite warriors that throw their lentum bombs. Stop it, username you. At the enemy and have bombs strapped to themselves in case that they are on the brink of death. Ooh. Ooh. The Nangalaku suicide lentum bombers. Grenadiers. Very cool. You're making stuff up too fast for me to write it down. Actions. What can the lentum do? There is the straight up just the poison people. So the poison spores. Spores. Maybe because it's a death throws, we double the damage. Oh no. The lentum expels spells a cloud of spores. All creatures within, and we use the same thing again. Radius must make a con save, taking 10, 15, 25, 20, 25 foot radius must make a con save. Let's drop it to 11, 13, 15, and 18, and no, I actually like leaving it at 18. Taking d6 poison damage on a failed save and half as much on a success is its basic bitch attack. I was more thinking the fish people. Lentum tip blowpipes. Yeah. Poisson. For the hive mind. They run into the middle of a caravan. Yeah. Very upsetting. So that's poison spores. Then we have hypnosis spores or hallucinogenic spores. Hallucinogenic spores. The Lentum spells a cloud of spores. I think this one maybe is... No, I like it's just all clouds. It's just all clouds. Spells a cloud of spores. All creatures within the same radiuses. Must make a... But it's not a con save. It is an intelligence save. Of... Yeah, the same again. I think that's good. Enemies abound or something? How do you mean? I'm not following that. The fish people... Where's that? Okay. You guys chat. Intelligence save of yada 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 yada. Taking... one, I think it's only D4s. 1, 2, 3, and 4. D4. High kick. DSY kick. That's right? Probably an H in it. High kick. Damage. And becoming... confused. This is the ability to discern friend from foe. Yeah. Confuse in a manner beneficial to the momentum. Normally, they will lose the ability to distinguish between friend and foe and start tracking their yeah. Assassins. The Nangaraku Lentum assassins. These warriors are trained at birth to kill and be ready to be killed. These warriors have airtight gas masks, which they are only 5 which there are only 5 of, to keep their main weapons, the lentum mushrooms, from killing them. And on them, around 5 lentum bombs and their melee weapon, the Nangalaku spear, which is tipped with poison poop and a lentum shroom. My finest work. Go for your life, username you. I also think that the troops and the hives have multi-attack. Or maybe just the hives. The husks are a bit much. It would be more like a you would weave it out of hair. Hair is actually quite a good filter. That's all it needs to be, because spores are quite large. Was there another kind of spore? There was the hallucinogenic spore, there was the poison spore, and then there was the sticky spores. But that's really just the sticky thing. I also think if they're attacking it, the weapon could get stuck. Not just the fungus, or it with a weapon. They must make a DC strength save or become grappled by it. / lose the weapon. That. Okay, I think this is upsetting. I don't think I want to give him... Yeah, I don't think it needs to be anything more than that. I think that's already quite upsetting. So, the challenge rating. I reckon a single small patch is a half. That's the one. 1, 2, and probably 4. And I'm not going to bother with the XP. Telepathic. Let's make that a little bit bigger. Lentum hive mind. Language is telepathic. All. Yeah. Would be for around. So there's that. I also like the crystalline mimic. Righty. I want to continue doing this because I'm having a great time. I am just going to have a quick breaklet. I will just pop this on a break screen, and I'll be back in 5 to 10, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Hang around. I will be right back. Say goodbye, Josh. Bye, Josh. Fast and ahoy, mateys. I'll be back. Thank you for hanging out with me. And we need to go back and have a look at more home brewing. So, we've got the Lentum Hive Mind. We've got the Nangalaku and the Nangalaku Infant. But now I think we need a third kind of Nangalaku. Copy paste the Lentum to the top. Pause. Yeah, because Nangalaku are there's a third kind now. But the infant, and now we have a Lentum Nangalaku hive symbiote. Nope. Nangalaku. Lentum. What do you think? Nangalaku Assassin. It would depend on their stats, I suppose. But terrifying things. Be for around level 20, 25. I don't know. I find people underestimate players as well. Particularly when you're looking at sort of small batch, small group people building stuff. Without it being heavily playtested, I find like most of the stuff I've experienced that isn't Wizards content, that is sort of published and official but not Wizards content, tends to be a little underpowered actually in terms of CR. The reason I suspect is just a lack of incredibly thorough playtesting. Like, you just don't have the resources to playtest enough to realize that this is underpowered. For example, and no shade on them at all, the Fool's Gold Kickstarter, I ran some monsters from the Fool's Gold book in a one-shot over on Roll for Damage for the Bellowing Barbecue Festival I created. Well, the Bellowing Barbecue Festival is a thing in the world, and I just built a game around it, built a one-shot around it. And they hunted a Moss Wyvern, which was like a CR 14 creature. And they were a level, I said, well, if the end goal is a CR 14 creatures, then let's have a party of 4 level 14 characters. Let's put this to the test. They killed it in 2 rounds. Just wasn't that dangerous. Just was not that dangerous. And I wasn't playing stupid. I got the advantage. I snuck it up on them. And they just killed it. Really fast. And I wasn't actually massively surprised when they did, because looking at the stats on it, yeah, it didn't have a fucking chance. It just didn't have enough tricks up its sleeve and or enough hit points to just go toe-to-toe with a couple of these barbarian. One of them was a barbarian. They had a monk in there as well. Like, they can tank some hits. There was a warlock with a very nasty crossbow. So yeah, the Nangalaku Lentum Symbiote. We're going to take the Nangalaku adult stats again. Though it is worthy to note that a Nangalaku infant would be a small. And yeah. I'm thinking that the Nangalaku Lentum Symbiote would be... It would basically get some Lentum ability, as well as having the Nangalaku ability. I think it is it's stronger, but not as dexterous. So I'm going to make it an 18 strength, but only, say, a 12 dex. Meaning its AC is... I'm going to give it some natural armor, though, because I want these things to be nasty. So let's say 14 natural armor. Hit points, let's say 40. I still like them being nasty fast and having a swimming speed. Don't mind the con. In fact, I'm going to crank it up to a Lentum's con of 20. The intelligence can also go up to a 10 because they're now Lentum smart. Lenton. The wisdom. I'm not going to change the wisdom. Or the charisma. I don't think. Yeah, they are still. Maybe pump it up a little bit. -1. Call it that. The thing is, they are traditionally immune to poison. That's the whole thing of them. I don't think they get the tremor sense. They do speak common. The challenge rating goes up quite a lot. Infants 2. I reckon let's make it a 3. 600 XP. Have pack tactics. This is where the symbiosis of form and troop. I'm gonna call this true symbiosis. Angelico. Just saw it. They move through fields of Lentum with and are any effects. The Lentum spores. Also, advantage. Shove checks when within 5 feet of a Lentum patch or larger. I found that if you factor in things like personality and don't play monster damage dealing punching bags, sometimes players will have a very easy. Yeah. The Lenton spread spores. Anyways, the Nangara don't have an actual tribe. Do you mean in real life, username you? They would have in game. I'm imagining them. Yeah, they are deeply tribal, very primitive, but tribal. Some degree of hierarchy, but not really. Otherwise, I'd have to go and make like a Angelico shaman and Angelico. Maybe they're led by the shamans, or possibly even they didn't really have any degree of society at all until the symbiotes came, and it's the symbiotes that are the leaders. Yeah, like a shaman. I think an Angelico would serve as a shaman. That's what I want to do with Lentum. I wanted to make them spellcasters. Lentum, Troop, and Hives have to cast them at will. Well, once. What do we think? Speak with plants. But a creature immune to the spores of the Lentum. As in like little animals. Yeah, go for your life, username you. some suggestions for what spells they would be able to cast. Obviously, things like Speak with Plants. The Druid spell list. Infestation, that's the one I was thinking of. Infestation. Infestation is a cloud of mites, fleas, and other parasites appear momentarily on one creature you can see within range, which is 30 feet. The target must complete a con save. Yeah. So definitely infestation. First level, animal, friendship, beast, bond, charm, person. Ooh, earth tremor. Hallucinatory terrain, yeah. Okay, that. More loose story. I don't want to give it too many, but a few. Nah. You can cast the spell, you can use cord or rope to turn. Nah. Oh, hold person. Yeah, I think that's the other one. Give him hold person. Or spike growth. Yeah, I think hold person. The other one. Hold. Also. Oops. Thing. Oh. Damage. $26. 6. Two. Cool. Yeah, I like that. I don't know why I would want to cast Speak with Plants. The Aprovistos rabbit. Species of rabbit is immune to the spores of the lentum, easily being able to decimate entire hive minds with only a few dozen wandering into a patch. The rabbit kills anything that eats them because of their diet of eating the lentum. Oh wow, yeah, okay. Cool. Like it. What else do we do with the symbiotes? Immune. Ah, I like that. Aprovistos rabbit. Cool. I will make a note of that one for when I write the flavor text. About the lentum. Because I wouldn't say they're special in any other way. They're not dangerous creatures other than being deadly to eat. So, I think the I think the reaction, the spread spores reaction, is given to the symbiote as well. And I actually really like Username U's idea about them having a weapon that is spores. So let's say a spore grenade. I don't think these things bite. I think it's a spore grenade. And it's based off their strength, not their dex. So it's a +6 to hit. Oh no, let's even make it a plus. It is not a melee weapon attack, it's a ranged weapon attack. Could absorb like a gelatinous cube. Yeah. Ooh. Are you meaning like the biggest mushrooms? And then when they explode, I reckon it's minimal area effect. It's like the spell the ranger spell. You cast it on a piece of ammunition, you fire the thing, and then arrows fire out of it. I can't remember what it's called. Exploding strike or something. Like that. 1d6 plus 4 bludgeoning damage. This is basically a rock. In fact, no, it'd be 1d4. Not the thing itself that hurts you. It is the grenade. Bursts, really. All including the target within 5 feet. No, within 10. No, so 5 foot within a foot radius. So it's the target and anybody standing right next to them. Minimal impact damage, like a loofah filled with cookie dough with Coke has been thrown at your face. Yeah, exactly. Zedra. Really enjoyed the mental image of having a loofah filled with Coke thrown at your face. But yeah, it's not the thing that's going to kill you. Not being hit on the head with one of these isn't going to kill you. It's the spores inside that will. Within a 5 foot radius. I think 5 foot radius? Yeah, otherwise 10 foot's huge. Within a 5 foot radius. Must make a con save. DC 12. Taking. What do we think? 1d8 or 2d4? I reckon 2d4. Yeah. 2d4 poison damage. fail and half on. Taking 2d4 poison damage on a fail and poison on a fail and half as much. Half as much, but I don't think they become poisoned. Yes. Half as much. I think it's obvious. That becoming poison. Claws. Change it to 1d4 plus. I also think these things have multi-attack. The them by do it. Pause and with a a 12. Cool. The Lonely Stoner. Hey, the Lonely Stoner. Greetings from Alaska. Greetings from Perth. Good to see you. Unsafe hell. What if the lantern shrivel up is exposed to salt? Ooh, I know, because they would live near Nangalaku caves, which are near salt water. So I would say almost the opposite. They like salty water. Direct sunlight. Yeah, I would say that. Because we never actually did that. We never went up and actually sorted out weaknesses and strengths. Because it's like damage immune, poison, exhaustion. They're definitely immune to disease, all of that stuff. I would give them resistance to acid. I don't know about necrotic. I don't think necrotic damage. But I would say let us give them damage weakness. Weakness. Radiant. Making them a primarily dark locale thing, maybe even dense forest provides shelter from the sunlight. Yeah. Tremor sense, 20 feet, passive perception, yada yada yada. Speaks all languages, resistant to acid damage, immune to poison damage. It's immune to, I would say it's immune to being charmed. Other conditions are prone. It can't be made prone. Radiant of fire. Do we want to make it weak to fire? It certainly works. I don't know if it's a plant. Yeah, all right. Fire. Go. I have no issue with that. Grappled. Can't become grappled. Or restrained. Yeah, no, plants don't like fire. Yeah, valid point. Valid point. Great, fire sucks. Yeah, that's valid. I, for one, hate it when fire touches me. Cool. Do we want to change that bit at all? I don't think so. It's got a melee attack and a ranged attack. Its dex isn't that great, though. So the melee attack doesn't hit so often. It's the ranged attack that makes it dangerous. Unless we give it the same +4 because it's a... If I get a +7, but it's a strength floor attack. 1d6 +4 slashing and 1d6 poison. Banana milkshake. Campaign streamed as well. Hey, Lonely Stoner. Yes, there will be a streamed campaign. Not tonight. We stream our campaigns on Monday, and on Thursday we alternate. Currently, the primary campaign is on Monday nights. It is a Humblewood game, and currently the gang in that game is in the Humblewood version of Barovia. Thursday nights we are off this week, but we play Mano a Mano, which is a 1v1 campaign, with my wife and I taking it in turns to DM it, playing the same character, but yeah, sometimes I'm running the game and sometimes she's running a game, which is rather fun, but we both play Beryl, a dwarven bard. Yeah, don't be at all surprised to find these things popping up in the games. And then, yeah, we run 12 ep seasons, and tomorrow night we will actually be having a table talks with the crew from the other game, from Monsters and Magic, which is the Thursday night Humblewood game. So it's 2 games running consistently in the same world, and the events of one affect the events of the other. The parties know each other, some of them are quite good friends. One has crossed the lines and gone from one party to another. And one of the others hates one of the Midnight Madness crew on Monday night hates one of the Monsters and Magic crew, as in the characters, not the players. The players get along just fine. Thanks for the follow, Lonely Stoner. Good on you. Tactics Tuesday is something I've started doing because I like homebrewing, and it's fun to do it with a cool hive mind. And the hive mind this evening generated a real batshit piece of craziness. We have come up with the Lentum, all based off something username. You basically type the word mushroom into chat, and we just went. Wow, Lonely Stoner, thank you for the sub, buddy. Good on you. Thanks very much. Welcome. We are Corsair's Cove. We do D&D. It's a pleasure to have you. We tell D&D stories. We have a YouTube if you want to catch up on the stuff. If you want to see us play D&D, check the VODs as well. Last night's game was a doozy. They got to meet Strahd, my Humblewood version of Strahd. Humblewood is an animals, like little cutely animals. That's just how I mean, you're right. It's a really nice community as we've got here as well. A bunch of people who didn't know each other very well throwing ideas up in chat, and we all had a great time coming up with something really cool and different. Last night the gang met. Strahd managed to save one of their number from the machinations of a mad priest. And they are now getting to the bottom of why that priest is exactly mad and exactly what flavor of mad he is. So that was last night's game. It was a really good RP. We are roleplay heavy. We focus on that a lot. Not to say we don't have combat. We do every now and again, but my players do like to nope out of it by role-playing around it. Pierre Chad was great. Yes, Zedran, Pierre Chad was great. Pierre is one of the characters familiar, and they'd come up with fake names for themselves, and Pierre wanted in on that, but Pierre can only say his own name. So however, his partner can hear what he's actually meaning in his head. So Pierre Chad, not just your players. No, not at all. So tonight we have come up with the Lentum Hive Mind, based off that single word mushroom that username you put up there. People started throwing out ideas about these sticky mushrooms that got more and more crazy. Now the Lentum, which is Latin for sticky, various sizes of them are increasingly more and more dangerous and increasingly more and more intelligent. Larger forms, larger groups of them can cast magic, and when they die, they expel spores, and they are very, very nasty. Then we were also homebrewing earlier a group of monsters and creatures called Nangaraku, which is an indigenous Australian... It's based on an indigenous Australian myth, based on a cannibalistic group of people that preyed upon the... what were they called? The Martu people of the Kimberley, which is an area in northern Western Australia, which is where I live. And I went to the art museum, and I learned this story at the art museum on the weekend. And I was like, this is really cool. I want to make something around this idea. This is a neat idea. So these monstrous skeletal humanoids, they are human, they're not undead. They are ghouls, like that. That's right up my alley. Can't wait to binge. Well, Lonely Stoner, yeah. Here, let me give you YouTube, the link to the YouTube. There you go. They are all over there, and yeah, you can check out that. The campaign is the book is it's a really gorgeous book. Humblewood campaign setting by the Hit Point Press. This there, they're cute. The characters on there, that is Riffin, the Ash Knight, and behind him is Oddwald Ebonheart. However, in my world, Oddwald Ebonheart never existed because he was replaced by Nevermore's dad, one of the player characters' dads, Lazarus. And I just decided that Oddwald was Lazarus. How's the writing going? Aaron, it's going very well. We have gotten real deep into this. We are now making the Lentum Nangaraku symbiote. And we're nearly done. Just sort of catching up our new friend Lonely Stoner. Yeah, the Lentum Nangaraku symbiote is, yeah, it's got the pack tactics, it's got all of the nasty stuff that Nangaraku have, but also can throw spore grenades, thank you, username you. And when it dies, it spreads the spores. However, we need to cut that down. It's every creature within 10 feet. Must make a con save of DC 12. Taking... I want to make it 2. 2d8 poison damage on a failed save and half smash on a success. They're real nasty unless you're immune to poison. If you're immune or resistant to poison, not a problem. Symbiote, cool, yes. Yeah, no, we've decided, and I'm going to have to go away and write the lore behind these creatures. And their interactions. But yes. And the Lentum themselves as well. But I am beginning to flag. It has been a long day. So I was going to head away and raid somebody now. And look, got a few of our friends are streaming at the moment. But we dropped a raid on Winter's Tales last week. So I think this week we will raid the Killer Bits. Oh no, actually, you know what? Why don't we go looking for someone new? Someone I don't know. Somebody who we don't raid, who we've never raided before. So let's find somebody else. Aaron, it's been very much appreciated. For those of you who are interested, when I'll go back through this and do it up all nice and make sure everything's is right and spell check and everything, and then I will slap it up on our Discord. !Discord. If you fancy joining us over there on our Discord, that link should take you right there, and I will put it up in the hung, drawn, and quartered, and anybody is welcome to use it, because I'm not precious about my creations, particularly not when a bunch of other people help me make them. So yeah, I'll type that all up and put it up there nice, and yeah, I'll upload it so you guys can grab it, as well as the Inkling from last week. Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty cool and groovy. Didn't get to do any Battletech RPG homebrewing today, but that's okay. I am okay with this. So, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure streaming with you this evening. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me. Thank you to our new followers and our new subscriber, Lonely Stoner. Thank you so much for joining us. Exciting results. So, we will... go and raid. Let's go and find someone new. I'm gonna search for, let's just go back to Twitch and see, just D&D. Who's streaming D&D right now? Dungeons and Dragons. What have we got? What have we got? Swamp Goblins, Mike Moans, Kilobits, Robert. He's doing a rerun. Polished Cryptid. Druid. D&D one-shot. Rob takes... Mad Vagabond. Oh, this one looks quick. Eldorian Tales, the broken one. Hexentale. Hexentale. Tuesday, Arc 2. Oh, they've got a studio there. All right, let's raid these guys. Cool. So we will go and raid the Hexentale. Sounds fun. Well, Zedran, we raided them last week. I think it's only fair to spread the love around, and I like making new friends. There looks like they're playing a reasonably high level. This is a level 8 druid called Veo. And they've got, yeah, looks like it could be quite fun. Let's go! So, thanks so much for joining me, everybody. Slap your favorite raid emotes up in chat. I've just put the socials up there. We have a link there for Ukraine. If you can see your way to donating any money towards Ukraine and the emergency action appeal, that would be cool of you. We also have a link here for Wooten Forge. The beautiful people at Wooten Forge make incredible handcrafted wooden tabletop accessories like this beautiful thing. You can purchase their stuff at woodenforge.com/Corsairs Cove. So I will head away from here now, guys. We will raid Hexentale. Throw your favorite raid emotes up in chat. Tell them where you came from, and I will see you next time. I'll set that raid up just about now. Hexentale. There we are. So we will do that. So I will go away from here now, and hope to see you guys tomorrow for more Humblewood of Monsters and Magic table talks with Daria, Dan, Karen, and myself. Be lovely. We'll see you there. Take care, guys.